Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's time to get started. Come on in if you're still lingering and talking. We're so glad you're doing so. We're going to go ahead and get started. So find a spot to sit. If you haven't yet had the chance to fill out your name tag and put it on so we can greet you by name. I'm sure we'll have some people joining us in the next few minutes. But we're going to go ahead and get started. We're operating on a kind of a swift time schedule this evening. I'm really glad you made it a priority to come tonight. Let me introduce myself. I haven't met most of you. You have met with Casey Robinson in admissions, but I'm the principal. My name is Mandy Rhodes, and I'm the principal here at Push Ridge Grammar School. And I'm really glad that you're able to join us tonight. We're also live streaming. I don't know which camera I'm looking at. Is it this one tonight? This one, if you're joining us at home through live stream. We're glad you tuned in. We are excited to be able to just spend a few minutes with you. You're all kinder families, aren't you? And so my guess is, this is my guess, if this is your oldest baby, that you feel all of the feelings right now. This is not you. You feel a little sad, you feel a little scared, like my baby's growing up. If this is your youngest, you're like, I have arrived, praise Jesus. And you're kicking them out the door to join their siblings in school. My guess is that for a lot of you, it is your oldest because this is a new family gathering. We're really glad that you have chosen Push Ridge to send your baby to. My three babies started here at Push Ridge when they were all in kindergarten, and now my baby is going to be a senior, and my other baby is going to be a freshman, and then a 7th grader. So I have 3 teenagers at the upper school personally. They're 13, 15, and 17, and I've been a part of this school for 20 years. I love it. The school is friend, family, coworker, and just a very big part of my life personally. I want you to know that. Come on in if you're just coming. Just find a seat, fill out a name tag. We're really glad that you're here. 20 years ago, I was hired to teach 4th grade at the school, taught 4th grade. Stayed home for a few years after that, raising my own babies, every other year, having a baby. And then went back to teaching 8th grade at the upper school. Shortly after that, spent a decade at our upper school, loving middle school. And it was during that time that fellow coworkers saw some leadership potential in me and started just working on me a little bit. And the Lord was working on me a little bit. And 4 years ago, I was asked to come be principal here at the grammar school. And so I want you to know that you have made a huge decision. We know you've made a huge decision here. There was probably several options that you were weighing where to send your kinder baby to school, and you probably prayed, sought the Lord, talked with people, prayed some more, wondered, hemmed and hawed, and you're coming here. And this is a really interesting time in history to be, one, sending your child to school. I'm doing the same. And 2, leading a school, which I am doing. Praise the Lord, not on my own, with the team. And I just want to take a moment to just be real with you and let you know that we are not a perfect school. And we are going to mess up. One of the things that I love most about the school, though, is that the faculty and staff love Jesus, and they love kids, and that God's mercies are new every morning. And so we are striving to train our children up in the way they should go. In just a few moments, you'll hear about our mission, more about our mission and what we strive to do at this school. But we hope this next few minutes will just be a good time for you to hear a little bit of our foundations and philosophy and why we do what we do, but also just the super practical things that you need to know as a kinder parent new at our school. So I'm going to open us up in prayer, and then we'll get started. Lord, thank you for this evening, for this group. We have some joining us online. I thank you for this group of new families at our school. God, we're grateful that you've sent them. We know that you are doing a work in their lives just as you are in the families that currently attend. And we thank you, God, that your love is unconditional, that you, in fact, are the only thing that is unchanging. And help us to remember that every single day, particularly right now. God, no school, no relationship, no child, no spouse, no church will fill the vacuum that is to be filled with you. And so I ask that you would just make yourself real to these families, that they would hunger and thirst for more of you as they're on this journey with us of raising children. It can be really difficult sometimes, Lord. So I pray you would give them a hunger and a thirst for you. Thank you that they're going to be joining us this school year, and that we can work together to train the kids, to disciple them, to just lay out a feast of learning and ideas, camaraderie, practice, learning how to be in relationships with one another. I just thank you for the woes and the joys that will come each day of school. And I pray this would be an effective time now, Lord. Would you just guide us? In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I want to introduce just a few people to you before Mr. Cooney comes up. And that would be, let's see, if you were on faculty or staff at grammar school, would you just stand, please? Well, this would be, you know Mrs. Hertzog. She's our office manager here in Red. And you all know Casey Robinson because she's been taking really good care of you. She's admissions, but she also plays the part of assistant principal at the grammar school. So these two ladies can answer all of your questions. You don't even need me here. Thank you, ladies. Also standing in the back is Officer Summerfield. He's our campus security officer. We're going to hear from him for 2 minutes, right, Larry? In a little while, 2 or 20? Let's keep it to 2. If you are on Covenant Parent Fellowship, if you're a member of that group, would you please stand so that we can see who you are? Covenant Parent Fellowship, you know, maybe you have like PTO, which are former, or you've heard of PTO, parent groups that bless our school by providing community support. They help us plan events. This is Melanie Johnston, and she's the coordinator this year, and these ladies are a part. They're here to just help you answer with questions and be a friend to you. So thank you, ladies, for coming. And finally, I want to introduce and bring up our very own K-12 headmaster, Pastor Alan Cooney.
Thank you for that great round of applause. Good evening, everybody. I'm Alan Cooney, and I am the headmaster here at the school. And so my purpose is just to tell you a little bit about myself and why I think you're doing exactly what you should be doing with your children, and that is enrolling them here at the school. And because that's what I did with my 2 girls, and I'm grateful for it. So I am married to Huntley Cooney. She is the AP English teacher for seniors up at the upper school. We've been married 31 years, and we have 2 daughters. Like I said, Lauren is our elder daughter, and she graduated in '08 from Push Ridge Christian Academy. She lives here in town with her husband, David, and she is great with child, with little Lucy, ready to be born any moment now. My younger daughter, Madeline, is graduated in '11 from Push Ridge Christian Academy. She's married to Danny, lives in Chicago, Illinois, and she has a 5-month-old named Peter. So I'm a dad and a granddad. And we're firing up Cooney Academy to educate these little kids as they come out. Before I became the headmaster at Push Ridge Christian Academy, I was, long before that in my working years, I was a Christian school teacher for high school. My wife and I both taught over at Desert Christian. We love our sister school over there. And I taught Bible, history, philosophy there at the school. Then we went to, in '01, we went to Covenant Theological Seminary in St. Louis, Missouri, where I got an MDiv, and then I came back here to Catalina Foothills Church and served as a pastor. Actually, I'm still on staff as a pastor, though Chad never sees me except when we talk about school, because school is really my absolute full-time job. My wife and I do happen to belong to the founding families who started Cornerstone that became Grammar. And the reason why we started Cornerstone was because we wanted our children to be taught, to be given a classical Christian education. And so we got together with a number of families and started the school, which was and continues to be a magical school. My wife and I, fortunately, we had the same idea about Christian education. We both thought that it was absolutely necessary that our girls are raised up in Christian education. I didn't grow up in a Christian home. My wife didn't grow up in a Christian home. And that might be one of the reasons why we just never felt we could take anything for granted, and that we had missed out on a lot by not learning who Jesus was and what it meant to live in a world that was created by God, that we knew was created by God, and that was redeemed by a Savior in whose life we could participate by His Spirit. It meant so much to us that, Christian education just simply does not pay well. We were amazed to find out when the Social Security Administration sends you reports on how you're doing with Social Security, and we found out that we had been living below the poverty line all those years while we were teachers. And now the thing is that life in Christian education is so rich that we just thought we were the wealthiest people in all the world to belong to a Christian school. Why is it important for you all to enroll your children, especially at an early age? I know that a lot of families, they weigh out, when should we enroll the kids? And they have this mistaken understanding that while they're young, it doesn't really matter, that what we'll do is we'll enroll them later when they start to engage in some of the tougher parts of our culture. Here's the thing that is not generally known, that your children, this is the most formative time of their lives. From the time that they leave the womb and they are growing up through these young years, this is when their worldview is set. Those little children, your children, are fabulous philosophers. They may not be able to articulate the questions, but they have the questions beating in their heart. Who am I? Am I valuable? Where do I belong? What's my purpose? What's this world that I've come into? Is it a nice place? Is it a sad place? Is this a place full of hope, or is it a place where I have nothing but enemies? Will I be helped here or not? Is there a God? And if there is a God, what is He like? And how can I know? All these things are in their heads. This is what's working in their minds, and they are looking for answers. And again, they pick it up not necessarily through logical discussion and argumentation. That comes later in middle school when they start to argue with you. But they're absorbing all the answers now. You're teaching them what kind of world this is. You're teaching them whether this is a world that's inhabited and created by God, or if this is just a desolate place where you just live your life and this is it and that's all there is to it, without even having to engage in that discussion. I remember when I was talking to my dad. I was a very small child. I was one of these sensitive, thoughtful children. And my dad's reading the newspaper, and I just said, "Hey, Dad, do you ever wonder where we are?" And he goes, "Well, what do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, I mean, we're here, and we're on the Earth, and the Earth is in a solar system, and the solar system is in the universe, but where's the universe? And where are we?" And my dad, so my dad's a banker. He folds down his newspaper and he goes, "Alan, you live at 17 New Haven Place, St. Ives, and that's all you need to know." Now, what did my dad tell me? Don't bother asking big questions, because they're not worthwhile, they're not important to me, and they don't have to be important to you. And so, son, you can just stop wondering about things like that. Now, let me tell you about this school. This school, your children are full of wonder. Everything is pregnant with possibilities. Everything is shrouded with mystery. Everything is alive with magic and ready for discovery and rich for exploration. And at Push Ridge, at the grammar school, we absolutely foster and encourage the wonder and the awe and the amazement of the world that God has made. Because as we know, the glory of the Lord fills this earth. And I can't remember, I think it was Elizabeth Barrett Browning said that every bush is a burning bush, and the earth is crammed with mystery. That's how your children see the world. And that's what leads them on to find out the answers for things. And ultimately, what that leads them to is who? The Maker, the great mystery who reveals himself in the things that he has made. And so we don't short-circuit that process. We foster that innate desire to know, to learn, to explore, to discover, until they just follow the sunbeam all the way up to its source, and they discover that God is the answer to that. I remember I am a granddad to a number of children, so the family was visiting us, and this little 3-year-old was just hitting me with the why question. I don't know if you can identify with that, but, well, why? Well, then you give an explanation, and they want to know, well, why? And they want to know the explanation, and you go, well, why? And you know what? I know exactly what's happening, and I'm going, honey, because God has made it this way. And it wasn't one of those cheap ways out. It's just that you've hit reality. Your little line of questioning, she was one of the best philosophers in the house, and she was arriving at what matters in life. So this is what we intend to do and hope to do and desire to do and love to do at the grammar school. We call the grammar school a magical school because what we do is we feed the children, your children, on the best stories, the magical stories that ring true. How many of you are Narnians? Okay. Well, you know what? Okay. You guys are in for a treat. Those of you who are not Narnians, please read the Chronicles of Narnia. And read them alongside your child. Just bring them alongside and just read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, just to begin with. Don't watch the movies. Forget the movies. They're awful. Read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And here's why. Because C.S. Lewis understood the child. And he was telling stories, and that the stories, the purpose was to get around the Sunday school teacher who was boring and who was always was leading the kids and telling the kids, this is how you ought to think, this is how you ought to feel, this is blah, 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 and the answer is Jesus all the time. Well, he wanted to get around that and touch into the child's imagination. And so when I was a child, my mom read to me The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And so what do I see there, though, is there's this wardrobe, and it's magical, and if you go into it at just the right time, you find that there's another world. And you know what? That's a true story. It's not fanciful. Because all my life since then, I always wanted to find the wardrobe that would lead to that other world. And it wasn't until I was 28 years old when I discovered that door that leads to the real world, where all of the things that I had hoped for and desired and longed for, in fact, turned out to be true. And that was Jesus Christ who opened my eyes that all of the things I longed for in my life actually could be had, and they could be had through the magic door who was himself. So we tell your children the good stories. We tell them about Jesus. We tell them about God. We tell them about how everything about the world is crammed with the glory of God. And it makes it absolutely vindicates their wonder and awe and exploration. Well, I'm not going to go into the grammar, logic, rhetoric, and all the grammar stuff. No, I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to an end, because I just want to tell you, just my children are grown now. They're having their own children. They grew up through Pushridge Christian Academy, and you know what? They're delightful children, my children. And I just can't wait to do the same for my grandchildren, is to raise them up in the beauty and the magic and the truth and the glory of God, in all the magic ways that he's given to us to do. You have absolutely made the right decision. And if you ever have any doubts about whether it's worth it or all this time and all this money, because it's demanding on the mom and dad too, it's demanding on you all. But if you have any doubts, just come talk to me. I'll introduce you to my girls, and they'll tell you about the experiences that they had that made them, they love the Lord, and they love to read his word, and they love his universe. I'll just end with this. My daughter, Lauren, who taught chemistry at Pushridge, she's going to teach AP chemistry. She's definitely a Narnian. I don't know if you noticed, those of you who are Narnians, I have a grandchild who's Peter and a granddaughter who's Lucy. Okay, they're nuts. So she came up to me, my daughter did, and she showed me this chemistry bonding equation thing. I'm not a scientist. And she goes, "Dad, I just want you to see this." And so she shows me this chemical equation, and I look at it, and it's totally opaque to me. I can't make any sense of it. And so I look at it and I go, and I look up, and tears are just coming out of her eyes. And I'm going, "That's great, honey." And she goes, "Dad, isn't that beautiful?" Yeah. And then she started talking to me about what that meant in terms of who God is. Totally vindicated all the years at school and college. So anyway, well done. Welcome aboard. You're in for some great times. Your children are going to be blessed. And, like Mandy said, we're just people. But we want to partner with you to raise your children up to live out the very reason why they've been made, and that is to know God, love God, and glorify God, and just take delight in what he's given to us. God bless you all. Am I introducing anybody? So whoever's next, please come forward. Oh, Melanie? Okay, Melanie Johnson.
Hello. Well, I'm Melanie Johnson, and I am thrilled that you guys are here. You are going to love this school so much. What Pastor Cooney said about it's a magical place, it might sound silly or overdone. It is so true, you guys. There is so much magic here. My wonderful husband and I, and Kirk and I, are the parents to Jack, who just was starting at the grammar school a minute ago, but is now in 2nd grade. And then my baby, my tiny little baby, who's 5 and very excited to come to kindergarten. And they will tell you what a wonderful place this is. My 5-year-old has kind of grown up here, loves it. You will love it. I am the Covenantal Parent Fellowship, that CPF coordinator. And our mission with the CPF is to create a strong community and foster that community. And this year it's going to be a little bit different just because the world is a little bit different right now, social distancing, all that. But we are going to work really hard for you new to Pushridge to experience this community that we love and know so well. You might be thinking, what are some ways that I can get involved? Good, I'm glad you're asking. So there'll be a lot of ways coming up that you'll see to get involved. We have what we refer to as our WAG, which I didn't know for a long time. That's the week at a glance. So if you hear someone talking about the WAG, that's what it is. Now you know. So you'll get information coming home every week, which will tell you what's going on in the life of the school, how you can become involved. Also, your kids will have a blue folder that will be coming home with a plethora of great information for them. And we will have CPF meetings monthly, which are ways that you can get involved. And one thing I want you to know about this school is that it really is such a family. It has such an amazing sense of family, of love, of community. So reach out, and people will be reaching out to you right now. We're working on getting our mentor families going. We're having Established families contact the new families, so you'll have like a buddy, so you're not alone on the first day of school. But reach out. I am always available. I would love to answer any questions, guide you, welcome you. I'm thrilled that you're here, and I'm a kinder mom myself, so I'll be getting to know and work with you. I can't wait to meet you and meet your kiddos. Welcome.
Oh, good. We were just going to say, if you haven't had a chance to eat yet, please dig in. We worked hard making those sandwiches. So, I am Michelle Hertzog, and I am the office manager here. And believe it, I can't believe it, this is the start of my 13th year here at the grammar school. So, I started when my son was in 4th grade, and now he's going to be a senior in college. And so, it's been quite a quick and fast journey, but love the school, and every year it's kind of like the verse where the blessings are new every morning. Every year the blessings are new every year for our school, and we are just so happy that you chose to be with us. There's some paperwork that's being passed out to you so that you get a chance to follow along with some of the information, because I'm kind of going to go a little bit fast. But before we do go on, I do want to let you know about some of the things, you're going to hear about all the things that we do expect of you. One thing I want you to know that we don't expect from you is, first of all, I don't expect you to actually remember anything I tell you once you walk out the door, because there's just too much. There really is. But what I do want you to know is that everybody in our front office has been a mom at Push Ridge for years and years and years. And we are happy to answer your questions. And I'm kind of getting to the age where I won't even know if you asked me before, so you just go right ahead and keep asking. We don't keep track. We just know that at some time it's going to click, but you can always ask us because we're happy to help you. And just know that we already love you, and we love your kids, and we can't wait to get to meet them, because we have the fun job. We get to work with all the parents, we get to work with all our teachers, we get to see all the kids. And before we get started, I just want to tell you a quick story, because this is the fun things I get to do. I get to help when somebody skins their knee or something like that. So last year, had a cutest little girl come in, and was fixing up her knee. And when she got done, I said, can I give you a hug to make you feel better? And she said, yeah, sure. So I gave her a hug, and she goes, oh, you smell just like my grandpa. And it was like the funniest moment. And I said, really? I said, that's awesome. I said, is it my hair? Can she smell it? And she goes, yes, because I kind of use a men's hair gel at the time. So anyway, it was hilarious. We have stories like that you can't believe. And those are the things that make our day, just bring us joy. And we really are really glad that you are here and that your kids are here with us too. So we are going to start. Because I want to be able to answer some of the things that I'm sure you're worrying about and wondering about. So number one, drop-off. Drop-off is available at 7:45 in the morning. And so when you pull up to the front office, there'll be a line. You'll see the lines that you need to come into to drop your kids off. There's a station 1, 2, 3. Pull up to those lines, and then let your kids, always let them out curbside, not on the other side, because that's where some traffic might be going through as well. The gate opens at 7:45, so if you happen to arrive before 7:45, please keep your kiddos in the car. We open the gate when the teachers are ready to receive them to watch out for recess. So if the door is closed, please wait until that time. And then pickup, we will have your kids in their spots for pickup by 2:50. So you just want to kind of gauge your time of that. And then like from 2:50 to 3:05, it's kind of crazy with all the people picking up. We'll go over pickup locations in just a moment. But just wanted to give you those times. When you visit, remember we have a green badge process. And if you just reacquaint yourself with that process, to get into school because of COVID. So basically you're asking yourselves the screening questions, you're asking your kids. When you come to visit and you want to go on campus, we will have badges there available for you. So if you've screened yourself at home, then you can pick up a badge and put it on, and then just drop it off and we'll clean them for the next day. But we do ask that you would screen yourself as well, so that we know when you come on campus, because you're going to want to come and watch your kiddos play if you drop off the first couple days of school and things like that. Outside the door, there will be a station where you will be able to get your green badges. You will sign in outside our door. This is new because we want to do as much outside. Our office area is very small, so you'll sign in there. You'll get your parent badge if you're staying. You'll get your green badge so that you know that we know that you have checked for your health screening. And then if you do need to come in, right in front of the door, there's a doorbell. So you just ring that, if the door is locked, you ring the doorbell and just listen for a tiny little click and we'll let you in. The door is open from 7:45 until 8:30 in the morning, and then it automatically locks with the mag lock, and then it opens again at 2:30. Let's see, when you come in. If you do need to come into the office, if you've signed in and you know you're going to a classroom, then just go ahead, wave at us and let us know. We'll see your badge, and know that you're ready to go, and then you can go ahead and proceed down to a classroom if that's what you need to do. If there's something that you need us to help you with, go ahead and just hang out there with us. We do ask that you would social distance. If you can, try to take a peek into the office too, and just make sure we don't have more, like there's not a whole bunch of people in there. If possible, maybe you could wait outside until it clears out. And you can come on in. Let's see, we close our gate at 8:15. And so if you come in and it's 8:15 and around that time and you see the gate closed, that means you will need to park your car and you'll need to walk in to the office. So you have to sign in and then walk into the office to sign your child in. And then we'll go ahead and let them go. Normally what we do is we just go ahead, except for your little ones, the kinders, until you get used to it, you can walk them up. But if you do walk them up to drop them off and they're late, please know that it's basically a hi and a goodbye. Just ask that you don't have any conferences, with the teacher during drop-off because they're already in class. So just drop them off and then come on back through. And we will adjust their tardies and their absences, accordingly. Because sometimes the teacher will mark them absent, but then we'll adjust that and let them know that your student did come in that day. Okay, so I wanted to just reference for you as well that this is the blue folder that Melanie was talking about. It's the homework folder, it's the communication folder, so look for these every day, because I know that the teachers send these home, but most importantly on Mondays. This is when we send information home. That's what we call backpack mail. And it's backpack mail is Monday, and we send everything home. Like you're going to start getting photo day information and things like that, and that'll all be in the backpacks in the folders for you. Okay, next, I wanted to just show you this. In your handout, you might have this, right? Just wanted you to know this is how you will find information on our COVID handbook, because that's going to be online this year, and changes will be made. You'll get an email whenever a change is made. So when you go to the website, you will then go to this Learning Together tab. From there, you will go down to the COVID handbook. That will bring you to this sheet here. Cute little kiddos, and then you'll see the table of contents, and you'll be able to reference that. So just so you know that that's really easy, and you know what? You can get it on your phone too. You can just go real easily if you have any questions on there. That will be right on the phone for you. Okay, I think the next thing you might have there is the pickup, the map. One of the other things you do have the dress code. I'm not going to go over that. There's some pictures there. If you have any questions, let us know. But I do want to go over the pickup map that you'll see. And we do have 3 different spots. And that's because we're a long campus. And so the red is, let me just check in. Can I take a peek at your? Okay, so we call the blue lot right in front of the school, and that's where we have pickups for our singles. We call them our onlys. So if you just have one child here and there's no siblings and you're not in a carpool, your children will come out there in the afternoon and you'll get in the pickup line and you will pick them up at that location. The red lot across the way, that's where our bus will drop off and pick up. And just so you know, if your kiddos are riding the bus, Our CSO is always there to help them cross the streets and make sure everything is safe when they're getting on and getting off of the bus. If you have siblings, or you have other kids, or you're in a carpool, the orange lot next to Orange Grove, we kind of made that on purpose, is in front of Catalina Foothills Church. And that's for anybody who has, 2 or more kids to pick up. So that's important to know, okay? And then last thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this sheet, the communications sheet. I just wanted, Melanie, thank you so much. She already talked about the week at a glance. That would be one expectation we do have of you. We do expect that you will read the week at a glance every week because it is your life source for information. That's where you go to know what's going on in the week and things like that. Your teacher newsletters will have more important information about each of the classrooms, things are going on in their classroom. A push page alert is something that you will get in email if we needed to remind you of something, and that could come anytime during the week. So look for those. A parent alert, we have a parent alert system. The name of it is Bright Arrow, but you'll see it as a parent alert, and we'll be testing that probably the first week of school. That's the system that we use where we send out text messaging to all of our families for whatever, if there's an urgency, if we have rainy day pickup, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But we do have that available. And if nobody here texts, please let us know so we know and put that on our list. Melanie also talked about the WAG, that's the week at a glance. Rainy day pickup and rainy day drop off. You know how it is here with the monsoons. We are, the first day of school last year we had rainy day pickup. And rainy day pickup happens when it's raining. Or if there's, for some reason, we need you to pick up in the classroom. So basically what that means is you will come and you will park in the parking lot. And even if you pick up in Orange Grove over here, you will park in the parking lot and you will go to your classroom to pick up your child, and then you'll bring them out. I can tell you that if you aren't on a schedule and you can come closer to 3:10 or 3:15 to pick up your child, you'll be so happy because the parking lot won't be as full. But you will also, so we will send you a parent alert when we have a rainy day pickup. If we have time, sometimes it's a very last minute call, and if you drive in and you see that everybody's parking and walking, we'll put out a sign that says rainy day pickup, then you'll know. Rainy day drop off is basically the same thing. Sometimes it's too rainy in the morning and too messy outside to get them. We won't send a text out for that, but you will see a sign that says rainy day drop off, and we'll greet you and let you know. One caveat is we usually try to make the call about 2:15, 2:20, and if we send it and say that it's going to be rainy day pickup because it's raining, when you get there it's probably not going to be raining, but we just do that anyway, so you know. Enrichment, when we talk about enrichment, those are our enrichment studies like art, PE, Latin, and music. So if you hear that term, that's what that means. A guest teacher is just another word that we use for sub-teacher. Chapel shirt is the blue navy shirt that they wear on chapel days with the logo, and it's important that they wear those because that is also for field trips. Opening exercises is what we will do when we get back to regular. We do opening exercise out in the basketball court, but the kids will be doing those in their classrooms in the morning instead, and that's where they do pledges, we do Bible verses, and different announcements. So that's what opening exercises are. We talked a little bit about the green badge process. You can read about that in the COVID handbook. CPF, again, stands for Covenant Fellowship. Coffee cart is something that is done through CPF, and it's usually on Friday mornings, and it's a great opportunity to stop and have a cup of coffee after you dropped everybody off and just meet and mingle with some parents on your way out. Lion's Den is where you get all the information that you need about homework, your kids, attendance, that type of thing. DK is a word for developmental kinder, which is our new grade that we added this year. Curbside service is a dad's thing that we do. It's dad's curbside service, and this is where our dads sign up, and they actually, 1 or 2 parents, mostly 2, are there, and they open the doors for our kiddos to help them get out of the car, and they say good morning. So that's an opportunity for dads to sign up to help in the morning. And you will hear about that from Melanie sometime soon. And last was the homework in the blue folder, which we've already talked about. Is there any other terms, guys, that I've missed that anybody thinks it's important for us to know? Nope. Good. Well, thank you so much. And remember, we're always here for you.
Okay, so we're running a little bit behind, and I want to respect your guys' time and get you out of here on time. So I'm going to go a little bit fast and probably not say as much as I was going to say, because everybody who has been here a little while knows I can get a little long-winded. They tell me 2 minutes, and I'll just start talking. And it's probably because I was in a career for a long time where I didn't do a whole lot of that. I did a lot of telling and not talking. But my name is Larry Summerfield. I'm the campus security officer. I just started this last year. We started our own security program here at the school. Before that, I was here as a sheriff's deputy from the Pima County Sheriff's Department, working as a side job. I worked for the Sheriff's Department for approximately 25 years, where I specialized in SWAT, dignitary protection, canine, those kinds of things, and narcotics. Prior to that, I was in the Army. I was an Iraq combat veteran with the 101st Airborne Division, and I came back, worked 2.5 years in the corrections facility up in Florence, and SMU-1, Supermax facility for special management inmates. And I really, really love kids, and coming out here to help out, and loving, looking for some way that I could do something different with the skill set that God gave me. So that's how I ended up here at lovely Push Ridge. It has been fantastic. I am currently married to a wonderful lady for about 15 years this year. In November, I had a couple kids prior, so I have a 25-year-old, I have a 23-year-old, I have a now 13-year-old with my current wife, and a 1-year-old. Yes. Didn't I tell you I love kids? Yes. Yes. So I am very good at managing all ranges of children and interacting with them. The great thing about our security program is now that I'm here in this capacity is I can interact with your kids, and I can help the school come up with better security policies, deal with some of the things that come up where I wasn't allowed as a deputy to give that advice because we weren't here in that capacity. So that's always a benefit. But the main thing as a parent, I know you guys want to hear, is when I leave my most special thing in the whole world to me here at the school, are they safe? Before COVID, that was always some kind of crazed mass shooter, something like that showing up at school, or somebody off their medication or something like that going to show up and cause problems. I firmly can guarantee you that if that kind of situation shows up, that's why I'm here. Okay? Outside of all my military and law enforcement training, I'm also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and I continue to passionately do that as often as we can, even with COVID. Right now, it's just my daughter and my wife who get to get tortured from that because I'm not going into the facility right now, but, the girls got to know it, okay? Outside of that, if you guys have any questions anytime you're on campus, please feel free to come talk to me. I do enjoy talking to you all, even though I'm standoffish sometimes or appear standoffish just because of the uniform and the gun belt and all that stuff. But those who have been here a little while know I have no problem talking to you, and I kind of enjoy it. No hugs from you this year. But does anybody have any questions before I move on and let Casey jump up here, because I'm really trying to catch him up on time? No? All right, well, I'll be out in the lobby afterwards. If you want to have some kind of question or something you want to bring up, I'll be happy to answer that then.
It's the Casey and Mandy show.
It is.
Go ahead.
So I hope you're all eating. I still see some bags. Please feel free to eat while we speak. So I'm Casey. It's good to see all of you again. I hope you've had a good summer, and I hope you're looking forward to an awesome school year. It's going to be a creative school year, but it's going to be an awesome school year. Just a little bit about me. I've been here 7 years in admissions. I worked in AM5 for 10 years before that as a reading specialist and administrator. But I love my job here. Talk about opening a door to another world. This became my other world. I also have 4 children. I have one who now lives in Louisiana, so I'm a big LSU fan. You'll see me fly my flag during football season, whether we get to play or not. If we don't play, we're still the national champs, so we'll take it. Secondly, I have a son who just graduated, so I have a 2020 grad. I have a junior and a 7th grader. So I'm a mom right in the trenches with you, so I totally get life. Lastly, but not least, I am on both campuses 2.5 days most of the time. So my office is right in the front at the grammar school. You know how to call me, email me. I'm happy to help you. And then I'm also at the upper school right in the front office. So you should be able to catch me on both campuses. And the next time you'll really hear from me, Pastor Cooney doesn't know, but since I worked all summer, I'm taking off and I'm getting on a cruise ship, and you won't hear from me again until January. Re-enrollment starts in January, and basically you'll go through the same process you just went through. No paperwork or interviews, anything like that, but you know how you submitted the online contract? You'll do that again just for the future grades. So the next time you'll really hear from me and Lion's Den and contracts will have to do with re-enrollment. And if you have an incoming kinder or preschooler next year, you'll want to start that process in November. It's called Sibling Month, and I'll give you plenty of reminders, but siblings get priority. So if you have new little lions coming up through the system, November is your month. And so now Mandy and I would like to host a Q&A. Michelle is here to help, Larry's here to help, Pastor Cooney's here to help, Melanie. So what kind of questions? I know you've sat and listened to us a lot, but what kind of questions do we have out there? Come on, come on. Yes.
You want to translate that in the mic so they can hear?
So the question was rainy day shuttle riders. So if you're going to have a kiddo that's going to shuttle back and forth to the upper school after school, the shuttle's going to run the same schedule. So they'll just be shuttled up to the upper school on time as normal. They just might be a little wet when they get off.
Other questions? Can be super practical. It's all right.
What's the thing about the masks and the kindergartners? Do they wear one or not wear one, or
Mask kindergarten.
So at this time, we have our administration building. Michelle was referring to the small front office, is small. And so once in a while, if your child needs to come down to the office, which is probably not very often, then that is a space we know right now, because of the coming and going and the adults and the deliveries and the kids, that's a space that we're masking in the front office. Also, you may have noticed that on Meet the Teacher Day, this coming not this coming, don't come this Friday, next Friday, because of the coming and going and the adults and the children and all the ins and outs, that's another time that we're going to have the kiddos and you mask because of the turnaround. At this time in the classroom, we're hoping to be able to do masks optional. I just want to share with you that as things come in, that could change. But your teacher's going to work with you, and we'll keep you updated as things change. Yeah. So just have one in their backpack. That's a great plan. And I actually would love to talk about what to expect, because this is the kinder group. So the first day of school, for kinders can be really exciting if your child's a go-getter and like my second born and said, Mom, I got this, don't even walk me up. Or it could be like meltdown tears, and it could be you doing that. Or it could be your child. So let me just talk to you really fast about what to expect for kinder on the first day of school. So for our kinders, you will park and walk your kinder up to their classroom. And if you've been on campus, it's like that, the farthest building. We call it Kinder Island, affectionately. And you'll walk them up there to the door, to the classroom, where their teachers are waiting in the classroom to receive them. Probably the best piece of advice I can give you is to talk to them about that process beforehand, how mom's going to walk you up there. We're going to say a quick hello. It's going to be so awesome, and then I'm going to go, and I'll pick you up later. If you have concern about that parting, our teachers love to meet you at the door and just say, we love you. Goodbye, Mom. We got this. And so the first day of school, just talk to your child about what that will look like, how you're going to walk them, drop them off. You'll be there to pick them up. Starting the second day of school, though, Mrs. Herzog mentioned that the gates open at 7:45 for business. And so when you see that gate open, your child can come in and play. We love to provide that playtime before school because if they're like my boys, they need to get that energy out beforehand. And so after that point, you don't have to walk them up to the teacher. Starting the second day of school this year, we'll have our morning announcement time and pledges that I usually lead the whole school in. That will be streamed into their classrooms. And so when that 8:10 bell rings, all the little children will scatter and go to their classrooms on their own. You're always welcome to hang out in the mornings, as long as this year you're doing that health check. I wrote down thermometer because we will have thermometers available. If you did not have a chance to screen yourself because you were busy getting the kids out the door when you come to work on campus, that's a part of the checkoff process. So we'll have that on the outdoor table. So that's a little bit about what to expect in the morning. Other questions? Let's take a question. That's so funny. I just emailed, let's do that tomorrow so we can email it to parents. No, she's doing it. We have this influx of families right now, and we are trying to keep up. I hope to get that emailed Friday. This week. Yep. Is that 2 days from now? Friday. Questions? Mrs. Herzog. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's probably in the dress code. We want your kiddos to wear play shoes, closed-toed shoes. We want them to run. There's the wood chips, there's the grass. So closed-toed shoes, I think, do we have the graphic images in the dress code for families? Great. And so you mentioned no belts for kinders or first grade. Any other questions? Yes. Go ahead, Case.
So she's asking, where do you purchase chapel shirts? So on Meet the Teacher Day, there's going to be an area with spirit wear and chapel shirts that you can pick up. And there'll be an area that you can sign up for CPF and whatever else that there will be for you to sign up, volunteering probably.
Speaking of volunteering, we want you to come, particularly K1 and 2. The teachers love to have a parent volunteer to help in there. So once you've kind of entered that office and done the screening, set that up with the teacher ahead of time. She'll shoot out a schedule. You could sign up. We love to have you come. We ask that you bring that you leave your younger ones either in preschool or with someone else. It can be super distracting in the classroom to have your cute 3-year-old and take away from the time that you're trying to spend in the class. So we'd like for you to find someone else to watch them if you can, so that you can come help in the classroom. You know, it's interesting because kinders don't usually join chapel till fourth quarter anyways, because it takes, as the kinder teachers say, all of their attention to focus on chapel, and then it's gone for the day, all their attention. So as far as kinders, they're not going to sit and watch chapel on Wednesday mornings like the rest of the kids do for that half hour. We'll still start that later because it takes a lot of focus. So for the kinder shirts, that Push Ridge logo shirt, that's going to be for field trips. They can also just wear it any day. It could be part of the rotating cycle of shirts that they wear. Friday t-shirt day. You want to talk about that?
Yes. So my daughter wore her chapel shirt almost every day. So you can wear the chapel shirt every day if you want to. Friday's dress. So the week at a glance, read your Fridays. I could never keep up with it, as I've probably told all of you. It changes almost every Friday with modish dress and half-day Fridays and spirit wear Fridays. But we will have spirit wear. So as long as it's a cute Push Ridge t-shirt, most of you in kinder have gotten your class of 2033 t-shirt. If you 2033. If you haven't, I have them at Meet the Teacher Day for you. Due to COVID, a lot of us had to Zoom interview, so you didn't get your t-shirt, but I have them for you. So they can wear a cute Push Ridge spirit wear shirt or their class of 2033 shirt on Fridays with blue jeans, in fun shoes. So it's a little dressed down spirit wear kind of day on Fridays.
We have another minute or two. Any other questions? Let's see, when would that have gone home?
It's on their resources tab too.
Okay, so yes, we do. So is resources on Lions Den?
So on your Lions Den account, there's a resources tab, and then you can click on New Lions, and it'll say Grammar School Supply List.
What day did we push that email? The really long one. That's the one. It's attached to that. At the very bottom, there's like 10 attachments. It's on there. Yeah, a lot of things on there you want to open.
And you read every single bit of it.
There's going to be a quiz after. Do we need to close, Casey?
We can close.
When-
We can give them a few minutes to discuss at their tables if they'd like, and then we do have another group coming in at 6:45, so we'd like to clean and set up the new lunches that are out. But if you all would like to talk for about 5 minutes amongst yourselves at your table, or find Mandy and I, we'd love to chit chat with you. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure working with you, and Mandy and I are going to have a blast with your kiddos this year. So thank you for sharing them with us. All right.
Thank you. Feel free to spend 5 minutes or so. Have a good night.